We're going to talk about the development of morality through adolescence. First, we're going to introduce some important terms that you're going to need to understand this topic. Morality, the principles concerning the distinction between right and wrong and good and bad behaviour. Theory of mind, the understanding that other people are people too, with their own minds, thoughts, beliefs, feelings, desires and perceptions. Moral reasoning, the thinking process involved in judgment about right and wrong. Moral dilemma, a situation in which no answer is clearly and indisputably right.
Socialization. Socialization teaches us how to interact with other people. Nearly all the behaviour that we consider to be human nature is actually learned through socialization. The most influential agents of socialization are family, school, peers, and mass media. Family. Family is the first agent of socialization. It teaches about close relationships, group life, and how to share resources. Our family also provides us with our first set of moral beliefs. These beliefs usually reflect what they themselves believe to be right and wrong, and as children we just accept these beliefs without question. As we get older, however, we begin to think for ourselves more. Adolescents start to develop their own set of moral beliefs, which could be very different from their families. Schools. Schools are another important agent of socialization. The official purpose of schools is to transfer subject knowledge and teach life skills. However, students don't just learn from the academic curriculum. They also learn social skills through interactions with teachers and staff and other students. For example, they learn the importance of being respectful and obeying authority. Peers. Adolescents tend to become more withdrawn from their families and their influence and are more drawn to their peers. For adolescents, acting morally right might not be seen as pro-social by peers. Peers have been identified as facilitators and barriers to pro-social activities such as commitment to school and the abstinence from substance use. The morality of the people which adolescents surround themselves with influences their own morality. Mass media. Mass media has an enormous effect on our attitudes and behaviour, which makes it an important contributing factor to socialization. Mass media and social sites such as Facebook, Twitter and Instagram open a teenager's mind to different cultures that they did not know existed. They learn about different norms and moral beliefs from other cultures. Sadly, mass media is not all good. Young people want to be accepted by society, and the media creates an ideal image that tells you what characteristics are to be accepted, even if some of these characteristics are morally wrong. Mass media also portrays the image at times that it is cool to do wrong and act in inappropriate ways.
Now we're going to talk about Kohlberg's theory of moral development. First, we're going to look at where the theory came from. Kohlberg's theory actually stemmed from Piaget's theory of moral reasoning, which had existed for a few years, only Kohlberg expanded on what was already there. Kohlberg also completely turned the existing view of socialization upside down. In a nutshell, Kohlberg divided his theory into different levels and stages. His theory is composed of 3 levels: number 1, pre-conventional, number 2, conventional, and number 3, post-conventional. Each level contains 2 stages, and each stage represents a progressive shift in moral reasoning development, with 6 stages in total. The simple stages precede the more complex ones, and each new stage is an elaboration of the one before it. Level 1 is called the pre-conventional moral reasoning level. In this level, judgment is based on personal needs and others' rules. Stage 1 is the punishment obedience orientation. In this stage, rules are obeyed to avoid punishment. A good or bad action is determined by its physical consequences. Stage 2 is the personal reward orientation. Personal needs determine right and wrong. Favours are returned along the lines of you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Level 2 is the conventional moral reasoning level. Judgment is based on others' approval, family expectations, traditional values, the laws of society, and loyalty to country. Stage 3 is the first stage in level 2, and it's the goodbye nice girl orientation. Good means nice. It is determined by what pleases, aids, and is approved by others. Stage 4 is the law and order orientation. Laws are absolute and authority must be respected and the social order maintained. The highest level in Kohlberg's theory is level 3, post-conventional moral reasoning level. This is composed of stage 5 and 6. Stage 5 is the social construct orientation. Good is determined by socially agreed upon standards of individual rights. Stage 6 is the universal ethical principle orientation. In this stage, good and right are matters of individual conscience and involve abstract concepts of justice, human dignity and equality. While Kohlberg's theory seems fairly concrete, there are some notable criticisms of it. Sorry, Lawrence. The first is that his theory focuses on only one part of morality, which is justice, as opposed to Gilligan, 1998, who argued in terms of care-based reasoning. Kohlberg's dilemmas do not cover all moral situations, so the experiments that Kohlberg used to get his data, they don't cover all situations that you would occur in real life. Empirical evidence of Kohlberg's stage 6 occurred very rarely. Dilemmas used in the moral judgment investigations are only hypothetical. This investigation is dependent on verbal expression in order to identify stages of moral reasoning development, and Kohlberg only focuses in on adolescent and adult change. His theory does not include anything about children. An interesting dilemma that Kohlberg used in his theory was the Heinz dilemma. A woman was near death from a special kind of cancer. There was one drug doctors thought might save her. It was a form of radium that the druggist in the same town had recently discovered. The drug was expensive to make, however, but the druggist was charging 10 times what the drug cost him to produce. He paid $200 for the radium and charged $2,000 for a small dose of the drug. The sick woman's husband, Heinz, went to everyone he knew to borrow the money, but he could only get together about $1,000, which is half of what it cost. He told the druggist that his wife was dying and asked him to sell it cheaper or let him pay the rest later. But the druggist said, "No, I discovered the drug and I'm going to make money from it." So Heinz got desperate and broke into the man's store just to steal the drug for his wife. What do you think? Should Heinz have broken into the laboratory to steal the drug for his wife? Why or why not? Depending on the answer you give, you can actually find out what stage you're at on Kohlberg's theory of moral development. Try it for yourself and see if you can find which level and stage you're at.